Jada was talking about the trauma dumping. We kind of talked about the trauma
let's
dumping.
go there, please.
And are you that person that when you call, someone else and you just start throwing up everything? You didn't say, hey, what you got going on today? Hey, you in a good space? Are you good? How you doing? You just start spilling out.
Yeah.
And so that can be very exhausting in relationships.
Absolutely. Right. And especially as you were noting before, the ways in which that can show up in friendships, right? We want to be there for people. We want them to be able to have access to us, to be able to share and vent and, be this kind of safe person, this kind of soft landing place for them. But it takes two people to navigate that, right? So I think it is really important for you to look at, am I the person who calls, right, and doesn't say, and doesn't ask, right? Essentially what we're talking about is like asking consent, right? Asking for if you can actually be a vessel for what I want to share. There's a number of ways to ask that, right? It can be, hey, do you have 10 minutes, right? I really need to vent about something just happened, and I just want to be able to dump this all. I don't need advice. I don't need this. I just want to get this out of my system, right? And there's two parts of that. One, many people are going to say yes, right? Because most people want to help and be there for you. But how are you going to take care of yourself if that person says no?
Ooh.
And that's part of it.
Because we don't expect a no.
We don't expect a no.
We don't expect a no.
That doesn't make them a bad friend if they say, no, I don't have it right now. No, I'm not available. No, I'm about to rush into this. Right? How do we respect people's boundaries when they do say that? Thanks for asking me, but I can't really talk about that right now. I'm going through something over here, and I can't really be the space for that. Whether that be about something that is, quote unquote, I had to use traumatic loosely because I think we're using it too much in some ways. Whether that is something that could potentially be like vicarious trauma to someone, whether that is venting about something that they've been struggling with for years, right? Asking that consent, what do I do next if this person that I have chosen that I want to be available isn't actually available to me? Do I have another person? Do I have another person to call? Do I have any other skills or tools in this? Or did I fully depend on this person to be there? And now because I don't have another recourse, I'm now mad at you for not being there.
You never there for me. Wait a minute. How we get never?
How we get to never?
How we get to never?
How we get to never? Unless that's other, right? But how do we get to never mean, oh, I wasn't able to be there for you in that moment. But being there for you was also telling you the truth. That I couldn't listen to that story. Doesn't mean I'm not there for you.
Yeah.
That means I didn't have room for that particular need in that moment. That doesn't mean I wasn't there for you, right? Me telling you what my boundaries are is me being there for you in this friendship. Because when I cross my boundaries, guess what's going to happen? Resent. If I keep crossing my boundaries to be able to listen to you in all these moments when I don't have it, it's going to affect our friendship. And that's me not being there for you.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't there for me first.
That's so good. Because do I have room for this? I think that's it's a simple question to ask yourself in those moments. It's a simple question, but it is so weighty. Yeah. Do I have room for this? Because there have been moments, I mean, literally, Doc, this was a couple weeks ago. I got a text message from a friend that a whole paragraph text message telling me about an illness and everything else, a disease. I was about to come film the show that day. I'm literally sitting there doing my makeup to come and film the show.
And boom.
I don't have room for this.
I don't have room for this.
I don't have room for this.
I don't have room for this right
now. Right now, I can't do it. And I think because I did not respond initially, I was literally filming that day, the next day. I was like, I can't give to that right now. And in order for me to because I know myself and because I have boundaries, I'm able to say to myself, hey, I don't have the time right now to do this. I'm gonna. So it took me 2 days to get back. But of course now they're
upset.
They resent me.
They're upset.
Yeah,
they are upset, right? Because what can happen is that again, we might feel like we're in crisis or something is urgent. That's not someone else's urgency. Yeah. They've got their own life to navigate, and understandably, it doesn't mean that we are bad or wrong for doing this, right? That we want our urgency to be urgent for everyone else.
Yeah.
My life just stopped because this thing happened. Other people's lives didn't stop because something happened to you.
Yeah.
Right? So they still do have to fit this relationship and how to support you in their other stuff, right? And you get to decide where I fit in your life.
Yeah.
I don't get to decide.
Yeah.
But what happens in that moment is that I've determined that because something's happening to me, you need to be there.
And you know, too, Doc, let me bring context to this, because I know it's going to be somebody in them comments like, oh, Brandi ain't never her friend. No, Negro. That ain't it. Let me bring some context to this. Let me bring it home, Doc.
Yes.
In this friendship with this person, there has been no communication. I've reached out to them. Like, I've been like, hey, what's going on? Like, hey, is everything okay? Like, nothing. And so this type of behavior has been going on for months now.
And now they needed something.
And so now it was like you dumped all of this in a paragraph 5-page letter text. And I was like, oh,
where have you been?
I don't even know where to put this right now. Because I can't give into the emotion of this, because I can't come in here and I've been crying and giving into all of that.
But you've also had emotions, I imagine, building up, maybe from feeling ignored or feeling overlooked and not feeling.
Listen.
Oh, now that's a different dynamic.
So just for context, audience, it went like, oh, girl, that man that called you and told you
Wow.
It's been some things. And so in that moment, then you dump all of this, and now everybody's supposed to just stop and do, well, wait a minute, I'm in the middle of something that my world is turning as the world turns, as you said.
Yep. And you're mentioning two things, right? I'm in the middle of something here, and I've been hurt by you. So now one, if the person is even thinking about, right, how they may have been hurting you by ignoring you, by not responding to things. Now what you are expected to need to do is that I need to move through my hurt to now be there for you immediately.
Yeah.
Right? And that's not easy work to do. So I can appreciate you naming that boundary, right? But there's this history that said I've been hurt, and I'm expected to ignore how you have treated me so I can show up for you.
Yeah.
That doesn't feel like friendship.
No.
That doesn't feel like friendship.
No.
Right?
And that was the conclusion. And I think there's so many people, right? I think that once we start to become more and more aware of ourselves, right? That self-awareness, that self-regulation, you know, that not just moving with the emotion all the time, right? When we can honestly, like, okay, let's be logical for a minute. Let's use our big old brains, you know, for a minute. And see how we can navigate this better. Like, many people just don't have that boundary script, and you give the boundary scripts a lot. On your Instagram, if y'all not following Dr. Ayanna, she giving you whole boundary script. She's telling you to pick a color, baby. She giving you all the things. Hey, Vault family, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this clip, make sure to check out our full interview on our channel at Vault Empowers Talks. We don't just scratch the surface. We dive deep into the lives of some of the world's most influential leaders and change makers. Don't forget to like, to comment, and be sure to subscribe for more inspiring conversations. See you next time.